Welcome back to our summer Bible study on the book of Philippians. So we're going to pick up today with the second half of verse 18 and go through verse 20. Again, we have Paul, who's writing from prison to a community that he loves. This is a letter with a lot of hope and a lot of expectation, but it's also writing from the real place where he is, that being in prison and the possibility of his upcoming death being very real on his mind at this point too. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming possibility of death tomorrow, but today let's pick up at 18b, where he's continuing to rejoice. So Paul writes, "Yes, and I will continue to rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, this will turn out for my deliverance. It is my eager expectation and hope that I will not be put to shame in any way, but that by my speaking with all boldness, Christ will be exalted now as always in my body, whether by my life or by my death." So this little passage reminds me of one of the lesser thought about onlys or alones of the Reformation. So a lot of people will talk about word alone, or grace alone, or Christ alone, or faith alone. But the one that often gets forgotten is that for Luther, all of our actions were to be for God's glory alone. So solo Deo Gloria, the Latin phrase for solely for God's glory, or for God's glory alone. And Paul can rejoice about what's going on in the church of Philippi. He can rejoice even in his own situation of being in prison, because he trusts that the Spirit and Christ are able to use whatever happens for God's glory. And that his prayer is that his actions in his life will be worthy of the calling that he has. He believes that Christ is active in the midst of his life, and that the Spirit of God is active in the midst of his life, and that whatever situation he finds himself in, that God can use that. And so whether he is in prison, or whether he is with the people in Philippi, or whether he is in Jerusalem, or wherever he may be, that God can use that for God's glory. And it's that willingness to surrender one's life to the glory of God. So may we all live for the glory of God. We'll come back tomorrow.